This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 9. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Brakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 9 through 10, is that I want to talk about a recent series that I just started watching. It's called the Billionaires Bunker, all right? The series came out sometime a couple of days ago on Netflix. And basically, what this series, and right now I'm on episode 1, is all about is these elites, these billionaires and of course trillionaires secretly hiding into these bunkers while the world is entering into a nuclear war. Okay, in fact, the first the first 20 minutes, you see the key players involved regarding the nuclear war. You see Russia, and China. In fact, they had and this is a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know what happened in the first episode, you might not want to watch this lesson. All right, but in the on the news they had China invading Taiwan, and also Russia was invading Norway. Okay, and basically this is what sparked the NATO. They call it the Atlantic Treaty, but that's referring to NATO, to attack Petersburg, and then it escalated from there. Okay, now we know that eventually NATO, which is the beast, is going to turn on America. Okay, and it's going to destroy America. All right, with Russia, because Russia is going to spearhead the nuclear destruction on America. But the point is that in this Netflix series called Billionaires Bunker, they're watching the destruction underground, okay, in a bunker. All right. In fact, I got this little. This is from the trailer. All right, and again, this is a spoiler alert. So if you don't, if you want to watch it, then don't watch this lesson. Basically, these rich, arrogant, pompous people, they purchased a bunker underground, and this is how they get to it. It's actually under the water in a lake. Okay, all the way, like they've been digging, and this is where everyone's tax dollars. Everybody want to know where the tax dollars went? Well, it went to these rich people's bunkers. Okay, it went to the infrastructure because they're building it. That's what it is, because they know that the devil knows he has a short time. Let me get that. All right, and that's how we know a lot of things are about to happen regarding the microchip, the RFID chip. All right, Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. All right, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right, okay, and clearly, this billionaire bunkers, all right, It just shows you what these rich people will be doing in these bunkers, and um, it's they know they're not going to get along because in that first episode they were at each other's necks already. Okay, they hated that there was no one to serve them. They were told that they would have to they would have to go get their own food. All right, and they were told that they can only have two drinks per day, okay, in terms of alcohol. So they already were being told what they can and cannot do in this bunker right here. All right, the people that, because the ones that were managing this bunker, all right, the really ones calling the shots. All right, so it was very interesting. But yeah, then you had these elitists being snobby to each other, you know, um, being disrespectful for each other. So you know that these elites are not okay. Even in these bunkers, they're going to be at each other's necks because again, like the scriptures say, a house divided cannot stand. Even these elites, okay, are going to be hating each other in these bunkers. I wouldn't be surprised if we catch a Rothschild kill one of his own his own family members, for running their mouth, you know. And when we get these devils out of these bunkers and put them into slavery. So Luke chapter 11 verse 17. But he knowing their thoughts, and unto them every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Right. So they were divided amongst themselves. Okay, in these bunkers. All right, but back to the point is that they're gonna watch the destruction, and as you see, I took a picture of this. All right, from my TV, and this is them sitting there watching the destruction on this big flat screen TV in this bunker. All right, what they call the dome. Okay, a dome. All right, because that was another thing. Supposedly, the missiles were close to where their facility was at, so they had to go deeper underground to like a dome, and this is where they had to sit at and watch basically the destruction. Okay, and again, I'm not going to tell you. It is a spoiler alert, but I won't tell you everything because at the end it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, again, these elites know that the destruction is coming mainly for America. That's why they built their bunkers outside of America. All right, and the creators of this film come from Spain. All right, so the elites of Spain, they don't even give a damn. They're gonna air it out. They're gonna say, "Yep, we built bunkers, and we built bunkers nowhere near the destruction, because the main destruction is gonna be America." Okay, Babylon the Great. Okay, that's where most of the nukes are gonna hit. All right, and we'll see what America, in terms of what they launch. Who they hit. Does the Lord allow them to hit Moscow? Okay, or Beijing, or Tehran, or North Korea, because North Korea has nukes too. The capital of North Korea. We'll see, but we do know that the nukes, the bulk of the nukes are coming at America. That's a fact. All right, 200 million nuclear warheads. Okay, are hitting this place. And of course, you see, and that's another thing, you see the expressions of these elites in this bunker. They look sad, all right, because, hey, they're not making money anymore. It's devastation, okay? So, 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, right? Okay? And that's what they were concerned, okay? They were concerned about their livelihood being tarnished. All right, so yeah, this is this series is very interesting. The Spanish thriller Billionaires Bunker. Who knew the apocalypse could be so profitable, right? And that's the twist. But yeah, and that's another thing. You got a lot of these bunkers. Hey, the spirit. I didn't want to make this too long, right? You got a lot of these companies. How many companies are building bunkers for the rich? All right. But look, it is impossible to know the exact number of companies building luxury bunkers for the rich, as many operate with great secrecy and serve clients who value discretion. However, several prominent builders are publicly known: Airy, Atlas Survival Shelters, DEFCON Underground, MFG, Hardened Structures, Nomad Bunkers, Opidum, Rising S Companies, Survival Condo, Ultimate Bunker, Vivos. Why the number is unknown? Secrecy. The market is defined by secrecy, with both clients and builders preferring to stay anonymous to avoid unwanted attention. Right, because they know it's coming. They know nuclear war is coming, and that's what this whole series was based. This whole first episode and the series is based upon a nuclear, what they call a nuclear apocalypse. Okay, and which goes to show you where they get this idea from. They got it from the prophets, because we're the only ones talking about the destruction. They got it from the prophets. All right. A lot of these movie writers and directors, they're watching us. They're actually getting ideas. All right. To in terms of writing what's it called? Episodes, series and movies. They're getting ideas from us, the prophets, because how we're breaking down the scriptures. All right. It's making total sense. And they're just like, shoot, I might as well make a movie out of this and profit, because this is, while of course not telling the whole truth, but this is basically it. This is basically they're even letting you know that when nuclear war happens, it's not going to be good for them either. All right, but they're like, hey, they just don't want to get cooked, because who wants to die? Who wants to get burnt by nuclear fire? No one does, no matter how wicked and evil. Okay, and these elites, they don't want to get nuked, so they're like, yep, we know that when we have to go into these bunkers, that's it. Our glory days are over with. All right, that's why it says in Revelation 6 and 15, I'll start at 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. 15, and the kings of earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man. Right, that was another thing. The military was involved in this. Okay, and they want to make sure that the majority of the public did not know that the rich were hiding in these bunkers. Okay, in terms of when it was time for them to flee. Okay, when it was time for them to escape, they didn't want no attention. All right. Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks and the mountains. 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide from us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Right, so these elites, all right, that are, and the military personnel and those, all right, that were able to escape the nuclear judgment, all right, they know it's over for them. They know that's it. It's a wrap. Okay, and that's why, okay, they're gonna know, yep, it's time for us to receive our judgment. Okay, let me see what this says in the NOT version. And they cried to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of the one who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Right, because they're gonna know it was the Lord that did it. They're gonna know, okay, it was Yahweh Shai, who is set this all in motion. Okay, because his father gave him the authority, okay, and the dominion to do so. Okay, that's why it says the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Yahweh Shai. This is why Yahweh Shai gets his glory and his fame. Okay, and he's worthy to be praised, just like his father Yahweh is worthy to be praised. Okay, that's all. That's what we're saying. You're supposed to worship Yahweh Shai just like you worship Yahweh. Okay, but of course Yahweh gets the bigger worship, the bigger glory, because, all right, he is the father of spirits. He created Yahweh Shai. All right. 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You see that? Who shall be able to stand? Yeah. These devils know they're through, man. They know they're through. And that's why they're dragging their feet. And that's why I can't wait to put your assholes into slavery, because those that were calling the shot, Lord willing, I'm part of that elect. All right. I'm going to be, okay, jacking you clowns up, for dragging your feet. All right. Taking your sweet ass time. Hurry up and push the mark of the beast array, the RFID chip. All right, you know you're through. All right, you know you're through. The fact that you're even doing now, allowing these shows to be put on Netflix, you're telling on yourselves. You know you're done. You know you're done. Okay, but you know you got to go through with it because at the end of the day, all right, you have no free will, and the Lord's making you do it. Psalm 64, own tongue. That's how I got out of this. I said, wait a minute, they put this in a Netflix series? Damn. Psalm 64, verse 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right. So clearly, this is the elites making their own tongue fall upon themselves. And they put it in the film. They know when they go into these bunkers, it's not going to be fun. Okay? They know. And then, let's put it this way. Unless you are the I'm not even going to say 1%, less than 1%, all right? You may have your those that work for you in order, okay? But the rest of y'all billionaires, okay? You think you're going to have the people that have been serving you, all right, listen to you when the destruction happens and they realize that, okay, this place is through? Nah, there's going to be infighting. You're going to have to worry about, okay, your bodyguard. Okay, you're going to have to worry about that military personnel that, put you on game. All right? He's going to turn on you. CIA. You know how they get down. The CIA will turn on you in a heartbeat. Okay? Because here's the thing. The wicked have no loyalty. No, okay, what's it called? Brotherly love for each other. Okay? You wicked people, okay, hate each other. You only deal with each other because of money. And when the money is gone, that's when y'all really going to turn on each other. Okay? Again, Satan's house is divided, even amongst these elites, man. All right? This devil ain't got it all. We're giving him too much credit. That's why that news media, that CNN and Fox, all right, you got to look at it as face value, and you got to tell them that, okay, like you ain't got it all. You ain't in all control. Okay, it's the Lord it's in control. You ain't got it, man. All right, and you ain't got it. Wicked house. Proverbs 14:11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. You see that? Okay. Proverbs 15:60. The house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. Right? Because how did you get your riches? Okay. By what's it called? It says it in Sirach. By unrighteous dealings. Okay. Sirach chapter 10 verse 8, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 verse 8. Because of the unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right, that's how you wicked devils got, okay, this earth, okay, got control over this earth because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Okay, so that's why it's only a matter of time, all right, for you to be to lose it all, okay, to be overthrown. I want to see what this says in the NLT version. There is a treasure in the house of the godly, but the earnings of the wicked bring trouble. Exactly. Okay, because how did you get all this? All right, by underhanded dealings, fraud. All right, look at the whole financial system. It's based on fraud. It's based on alchemy. Okay, the central banks, okay, is clearly, all right, a racket. Okay, if I were to have my own central bank in my house, you would say I'm counterfeiting. But when the central bank, okay, of this government, well, it's not even part of the government. It owns the government. Okay, gets to create money out of thin air. That's called monetary policy. Get the fuck out of here, man. And I hate your stupid words too. Monetary policy. Okay? Lowering interest rate. Interest beats usury. Usury. And usury is against the scriptures. But this is supposed to be a godly nation. Okay. That's why the Lord's going to destroy America, Babylon Great, with nuclear fire. Okay? And the elites know that. That's why they didn't build their bunkers in America. The super elite. We're talking about the ones that own America. Not the average American billionaire. Okay? Or millionaire. They're getting cooked in America. Their bunkers are an oven for them. We're talking about the super rich, the powerful, the elites. Okay? Who you call today the international bankers, right? Which are mainly made up of JJs, the 1940s, the small hats. You think they're gonna stay in America? No. When the shit hits the fan, they'll be gone, and they'll be getting the green light. Okay, just like in this, again, spoiler, in this episode, the first episode, they were told by the military, it's time to go. All right, don't tell no one, just leave. So last one I'll close out. Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 16. Behold, I will send many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. Right, that's what we're doing. We're fishing for the elect. All right, bringing out this truth. Okay, again, they know. Even the devil knows his time is short. They know nuclear war is coming. They put all the nuclear, news in this episode. Okay, and Russia was one of the main ones they had. Okay, and as well as China, and that whole China taking over Taiwan, that was woo. I was like, whoa. And they said Russia took over Norway, so which is very interesting. All right. Now we know if anything, Russia will take over all Ukraine, and of course the eastern countries like Romania, Estonia. All right, because they can easily take those over. But Norway, that's very interesting because Norway is at the border of Russia, and they're always having issues with Russia, especially when Russia flies their warplanes near the Norway airspace. Anyway, that's the geopolitics. I'm into that. Brothers know in GMS Miami, I'm always into that. But the point is, back to the scriptures. Right now we're fishing. We're telling bringing out the truth according to what the scriptures say. Okay. And after, so behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters. Right. So we're coming to a time where the Lord is going to stop us from teaching and then put the spirit on those that he selected to hunt these devils. Where? And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Right. All these bunkers. Okay. All right. These are end time prophecies. Okay. So you elites, get ready. Get ready to see an Israelite man with spiritual powers, all right, pull you out of those bunkers. It's coming, okay? And you're going into slavery, all right? And you know it. You know it, all right? You know it. 17, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes, right? Because the Lord sees everything. These devils think that was the thing, okay? They really thought that the Lord didn't watch all the wicked shit they have done in this generation and in the previous generation and the previous generation, especially you baby boomers and you Generation Xers. You honestly think you are righteous in your own eyes. You out of your fucking mind, man. You are not righteous. You baby boomers and you Generation Xers, you are not righteous, okay? Here it is, you want to point the finger at the millennials and the Generation Z when you're the ones that created the millennials and the Generation Z by allowing the shit that was being pushed in this country and globally. All the weird, lewdness and debauchery and decadence, and iniquity and immoral behavior. You are the motherfuckers that allowed this shit and allowed laws to be passed to keep it going. So you're not exempt from catching that fucking ass whooping too. Okay? So, Lord willing, that's edifying. Yeah, I know I got I'm a little irritated with the baby boomers and the Generation Xers of this world, all right, because they're the ones that created this fucking problem, okay? They were the ones that allowed this shit to happen. Okay, that's why when the scriptures say, in wisdom of Solomon, real quickly, just to edify that point, ungodly parents. Okay, gotta bring this out. All right, these are the facts. All right, it should be ungodly parents. Maybe it's Wisdom of Solomon. Um, Where is it at? Is it that one? No, it's got to be in. Maybe it is this one. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 6. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. Right. A lot of adultery was going on amongst the baby boomers and Generation Xers. All right. Women committing adultery, bearing children. Okay. Even though they're legally married. All right. They're bearing children to a side dude. Right. Oh, Cardi B is a good example. Right. She's legally married to Offset, and yet she got pregnant for some football player. All right, but there's another one that comes to mind. I know there's another one. Parents. Freaking. Let's see. Just bear me one moment. Something else. Maybe this is in. Maybe I was reading this in the GNT version. Hold on. Oh, 1144. That's spiritual. Kahalam Yabashim Yashai Bashim Kakadash Barakata. All right, hold on one second. Wisdom of Solomon 4 verse 6 GNT. Yeah, that's on Judgment Day. Children born of forbidden union will testify to the sin of their parents and act as witnesses against them. Oh, that's yeah, yeah. But there was another one. That's uh, unrighteous parents or unrighteous. Um, maybe it's parent. Nope, it is parents. All right. Yeah, I believe that was it. That's got to be it. Could have sworn there was another one I was looking for, but it's all right. The point is made. All right. Hey, at the end of the day, these devils know they got a short time. Um, they know they're gonna watch the destruction of America on the flat screen TV in their bunkers. Okay, and they know they're gonna lose it all, and they know that it's judgment. Okay, and again, all the infighting and everything's being revealed. Okay, how wicked and evil these rich people are. That's a test. That's a witness against them. All right, and so it ain't gonna be pleasant. So, Lord willing, us edifying. I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Makakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai's sake. Love brothers, keep it there, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying, pray without ceasing, pray for each other, pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. It's getting close. We're almost out of here. Just waiting for that chip, the R5D chip. And for the few that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray to cover Shalom.